You have the eye for human weakness, but not the stomach.
What's this about?
Oh, just a feeling I have.
Ouch. When you get those feelings, insurance companies start to go bankrupt.
What kind of music do you usually have here?
Oh, we got both kinds. We got country and western.
Are you the police?
No, ma'am. We're musicians.
We've got him, Senator Jeff Howe. We call him Colonel DOGE, and we love having him on this program. Colonel, how you doing?
Terrific. Life is good.
I'm all miffed up about the naked guy in the Capitol. Every day I find something else. Well, we should. Here's where I'm at. So we put $250, $300 million into this place, the Capitol, 4, 5, 6 years ago, whatever it was. And somehow this naked guy was able to break in using a doorstop, a wedge of wood to break security.
Come on now, Al. He didn't break in using the doorstop. He used the doorstop to navigate once he got in and to keep those doors open. The big question is how come the door locks don't work? And who failed to check the doors?
See, this is where I'm at. So you spend this kind of money. You said
loss prevention. I did loss prevention when I was a firefighter, right? Because a little extra income, you know. One of the last things you do is check the doors to make sure they're shut and locked, right?
Well, see, and I got a friend with an alarm system in his cabin, right? It's got a little thing on every window and every door. So once he puts in the top secret code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then it's set. And if anything opens, it goes off. I mean, it's not complicated. I'm sure you're not spending $1 zillion on it. And I don't think it has to be, what was the Die Hard movie? The Nakatomi Towers. I don't think you have to have, an underwater welding gun and a computer. I don't think it has to be that bad. But a guy came in during the day, put a wedge in a door, and now he's got to run to the place. That cannot possibly be how easy that was.
If he's taking a shower and he knows this system, how long has he been there? I mean, did we find
how many nights he been sleeping there? I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he came back 3 times. He was frequenting the joint. I mean, at least that day he was. So, I mean, the thing is I'm hearing through the grapevine that, we've known there's been issues. Well, then why hasn't that been brought up? I mean, if you knew there was issues.
Especially in the last 7 weeks since the shootings, right? Because now you got to, because here's where I'm at. The shootings, again, knucklehead, man off his rocker. I'm not sticking up for this cat, but he had enough wherewithal to order the uniform, get the mask, make a plan, right? Write his crap down. And he's a nut job. Now you have serious nut job naked guy. I get it. But Senator, if you were a bad person and you weren't a nut job, you just wanted to do bad things, and you can get into the Capitol with this, you guys should demand more. I'm sorry. You show up at 8:30 someday and naked guy spent the night there now and he's a crazy lunatic. This should not be that easy.
Or he's waiting for you in your office.
Thank you. Well,
but the key thing is the Capitol is different than what's going to be the new SOB or whatever they're going to call it, State Office Building, and the Senate, Minnesota Senate Building. I think then hopefully we'll have upgraded security systems. I know the Senate building, you can get locked down pretty good. Why wasn't that addressed during the huge remodel of the Senate building, and what mistakes were made? And we need to address that. And before we start thinking about metal detectors and all the rest of this stuff they want to throw at it, well, why don't we just make sure the lock systems work and make sure that people can't get in when we aren't open for business?
And see, what gets me about that, sir, is because, again, maybe I'm just a knucklehead. I just presumed there's some guy making a little more than minimum wage, working for the state, who's roaming that building all night, right? So we close the door at 5. So I'm going to call him Bob. Bob goes to every door, make sure it's closed. We're locked up. Then he wanders the halls all night, bored out of his gourd, probably watch a little video on his TV, on his phone. I don't care. But we don't have someone there.
The night at the museum or whatever they call
exactly.
it.
Yes,
right?
Thank you. I guess that's what I thought, and maybe I'm completely wrong. We locked the doors. Bob hopes that whoever left last closed it. That's how we do it.
Or at least when the last guy goes home at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever it is. He makes his rounds, make sure all the entries doors are locked and closed, the security system's turned on, so those entrances have a notification device on it, and we arm it as we go out the door. I mean, I think that's, and but I hear people saying, well, there's so many entry points. That's not a bad thing. When you're open for business, you should be open for business. And when people want to come in, people want to come in. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, to me, that's a Publix building. They should be able to come in there.
See, but you can say it's a crazy number. It's not like 300 or 400 openings. There's a door that comes up the big stairs. There's 3-4 bank of doors. There's this on the east side and the west side. 10? 15? It's not going to take you an hour and a half to go look to see if they're closed.
But, the thing is in order for me to get there from the Senate office building, I tell you what, you got to have a pass key.
Yeah. When
they want it secured, you can't get through it you can't get there from there without having a key. So
if we do anything, sir, I think you guys have to put something in the budget. If we're not going to fix the way we're doing the security, we need to buy them plastic bags your mother and grandmother used to put on the couches, when you got a new couch in the 70s. Because I'll tell you what, Bobby Joe Champion, one of the best dressed guys in the Senate, I will tell you this, should not have to sit on that chair. I'm just saying it. You can't clean it enough for me. I want a new chair.
Hey, he came out of the place cleaning himself up. I have to assume the guy actually took care of himself and cleaned himself up. I don't think we have anything to worry about,
All right, that's okay.
I'll give him my chair. I don't care.
All right. I don't know where this story goes. It hits me also a little strange, and we'll get to the fraud stuff in a minute. St. Paul yesterday was shut down because of internet. The National Guard, the governor sent the National Guard in with their computer cyber attack. There's a cyber attack on St. Paul. Why is this not getting more press? This seems like, again, I'm not a computer guy. Smart guys can hack stuff. I get it. But if you can shut down a city and we don't know who's doing it, what do we got to do as a state of Minnesota? If you can get St. Paul, I got to presume you can do Blue Earth, my town.
Well, but the thing is that's normally, I would say that I've worked for local governments quite a bit. And if you click on the wrong thing when you're in your email, bad things happen, right? And so normally that's you got an employee that probably clicked on something they shouldn't have, thought it was the right thing, clicked on it, and all of a sudden they're in. And so it can happen very easily. I just remember working in the military. I had, especially in theater, in the combat zone, I had a regular computer and I had the super secret squirrels deal computer, right?
Yep.
And don't you dare take a thumb drive and stick in either one of those because it just shuts down, right? Yeah. They lock you down right now. They know that.
Yep.
And the same thing, don't take information from this one and put on that one because now it automatically locks down.
Yep.
I don't think we have to get to that stage, but we, local governments and the state and cities need to be going towards that. Yeah. Where I got to have a card, some access card to stick into their computer to get in. And log into the system. And if they're not there, they need to be looking at that. And it's fairly simple. A lot of big corporations do it. Why are we always lagging on that? And especially when we're trying to give money out to people, that should be a secure system, would not you think?
Oh, absolutely. And again, like you say, this government's always lagging behind. But we got to get caught up because everything is in that computer anymore, from running the lights to the sewer system, everything else. And if City of St. Paul, which I presume has a pretty large IT department, they can come after us little towns in a heartbeat. Let's go to break. We've got some fraud to discuss with Colonel DOGE. We've got him, Senator Jeff Howe. More right after this.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Think about it. A famous politician once said, "You're entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to your own facts." But in a world full of AI and fake news, where can Minnesotans find the facts? Center of the American Experiment is Minnesota's go-to source for fact-based analysis and common sense solutions for taxes, energy, public safety, and our kids' education. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
Don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on the Al Travis Show.
I know I'm going to get myself in trouble for this one, but I'm going to talk with Senator Howe about it anyway. Senator, it's just one more of the hits. They just keep it coming. Minnesota has stopped payments now to housing providers in the Housing Stabilization Services Program. Only done because the federal government come running in here saying, hey, wait a minute, something's up. So we start reading about it. In 2019, y'all put $2.6 million into this housing stabilization thing. Basically, folks helping the poor, the homeless, find a way to find a place to live. I'm going to throw out, what if we thought there were 30,000? I don't know what we thought in 2019 were homeless, but let's just say it's a number. 5 years later, we're spending $107 million on it. And to me, there's someone at the Department of Human Services, somebody's got to be watching this in 5 years, seeing the number go from 2.6 to 107. And don't you have to ask yourself, are there 50 times more homeless people than we thought? Or are we just pissing money away?
The bears are going to come, aren't they?
What? Well, yeah, but this isn't even about the homeless people got nothing here. The scam,
That's
the beauty
true.
of this.
That's the problem.
The beauty of this.
Though.
Yeah, it is. No, you're right. The beauty of this scam is that you can go ahead. You talk. I'm sorry.
Here's the deal that I believe. If you want to cut this fraud out, why don't you make it as difficult to get this money as it is to give veterans benefits to veterans?
Thank you. See,
because
I see. I love
the first time you apply, it's almost guaranteed you're going to get a denial. And you got to reapply. I mean, so can't they just use that same scrutiny we get as veterans to get our benefits for serving our country and getting busted up a little bit, and say put that same scrutiny on the people that are getting these handouts? It's the same federal money, is it not?
Oh, but here, okay, this is set up so crazy. So as I understand this, I'm sorry, Senator, you're homeless. Al can go up to homeless Senator Jeff and say, Jeff, I know you're homeless. I want to talk to you about it. And the government will pay me $70 an hour for 150 hours to discuss it with you. Sir, I don't know how many federal programs there are, maybe a half a dozen. How are you and I going to spend 150 hours discussing it? And I get paid.
You know, MacV does that for veterans. How much of that money did they get? I bet you they didn't get. I gotta find out how much money they got.
It's right? Such as, yes, it is set up for scamming. Maybe I could meet Jeff and, you know what, let's spend 2 hours together over a coffee and I'll get your life squared away and I can make $140. Well, guess what? I'm not going to go out of my way for 140. These guys are getting 150 hours at $70. And is it a shock? They go find one of these people and say, well, I met the guy, never talked to him after that. He took his money and ran.
Right? This was...
the other one was, how in the world do we not have a program, back to the IT, that says, oh, what do you know? 20 separate businesses in the same building are getting checks for this. What are the odds? What are the odds?
I mean, let's just go back to, and I think I said this last week, when I send out a fundraising letter, right? We send it through a program that finds all the same name and the same addresses. And if they're husband and wife, I send one letter to both of them, right? It says Mr. and Mrs. So it isn't that difficult. And is it that and then the same thing goes, and I know we've had this discussion. If we've already found them in the Feeding Our Future, why don't we check the autism and why don't we check the
housing and
records to make sure they're not dipping into all three buckets?
And if you're dipping into one, you will dip into all three. What do you care? You're obviously the type of person who will steal from our kids, steal from the housing people. What kills me, Senator, even though I'm a right-wing knucklehead, and I get it, I want to help people. If there are homeless people and we can get somebody there to get them through the program, I'm all for it. $2.6 million. I didn't yell. I have no idea. But now you're $107 million, and we know that right now they believe at least 1 in 5 is completely a scam. Help me want to help.
And only when the federal government's going to come take a look do we shut the valve off, right? And what is our Attorney General doing? Where is he?
Oh,
has he said anything about any of this?
No, absolutely not.
Suspicions. We thought we were going to. Would you hear anything? Where's Ellison on this? How come he's completely silenced? He's
not anywhere to be found. Let me ask you this. On the other side, the people we voted in, and this has to go through a House committee. This got to go through a Senate committee. Somebody had to be looking, and again, I presume the head of the Human Services Housing Department. Does he come and sit in the meeting, and did no one say, how does this go from 2.6 to 1.7, 107? Is there no cross-talk with the people in charge of that?
You know, the first thing you got to do is, we'd have to be constantly looking at those numbers, right? To see that. And we kind of move on to the next deal. But you'd think it'd come up every 2 years in the budget cycle, right?
That's what I'm saying. 2 years ago, we weren't at 107. We were at 87 or something. Okay, 87 to 100. How did we go up 25%? Are we not doing a good job because we're spending massive amount of money and we still have homeless people, or we're making it up?
Keep in mind, but those of us in the minority that might ask that question may not get an answer. I get we all should be concerned about fraud, right?
Yeah.
But everybody's thinking we're doing great things. Well, gee whiz, if they've got that many people, we need to put more money because there's more people out there that need it because we got more people on the program. Well, maybe if you quit feeding the program, maybe they would go have the incentive to go actually do something. And I'm all about taking care of the people that need it. But this money's not getting to the people that need it. And that's our big hiccup.
And it's set up wrong. I don't know how anyone can spend 150 hours talking to a homeless person and giving it any more than the.
Just the same, let's look. What there was somebody that said, well, if they go over a half an hour, then they get the charge for the full hour. So I'll talk to you for 35 minutes, and I get to charge you for 2 hours. But you know what? We only have to meet 6 times a week. I'll just charge for 12 times a week.
See, this is where I'm hoping Minnesotans are getting tired of it. That Minnesotans see this often enough, hear about this often enough, and just say, for God's sakes, no. Let's figure something out.
That makes a difference in the elections. Wake up, folks. Elections have consequences, and that's what we're dealing with right now. And we need to figure this out because and stop doing the same thing and expecting different results. Help us help you save our money, because I just looked at the tax deal, and the the Tax Foundation says we're number 44 now overall.
Oh, all right. We got to fly. I'm out of time. You got me up against a break. Appreciate you, my friend. We'll get you back in here next week. Senator Jeff Howe on the Al Travis Show.